Alex. Alex!
Who?
Oh!
You scared me!
Welcome to another Johnny 2000 retrospective. Now, we are going to do the first season of another show that is near and dear to my heart, Wizards of Waverly Place. So we're going to dive into the magical beginnings of one of Disney Channel's most iconic shows. Season 1 introduced us to the quirky and lovable Russo family, blending everyday life with the chaotic and exciting world of wizardry. From sibling rivalries to spellcasting disasters, the season's going to set the tone for fun, humor, and heart that the series actually became known for. So join us as we take a look back at the spells, laughs, and the lessons that made this debut season so special.
Woo! Well, now we're having fun, huh?
This is awesome!
In the pilot of Wizards of Waverly Place, directed by Fred Savage and written by the writer of the show, Todd J. Greenwald, who also wrote a couple episodes of Hannah Montana, we have the crazy 10-minute sale. In the beginning, Alex Russo is eager to attend the crazy 10-minute sale to get a jacket she's had her eye on. However, her dad, Jerry, refuses to let her go because she has a wizard lesson that day. Determined to make it to the sale, Alex uses the Ejbono Utusis spell to duplicate herself. She sends her clone to the wizard class to fool her parents, but the clone ends up glitching and barking like a dog. Alex sneaks off to the sale with a plan to find the jacket before her rival, Gigi Hollingsworth, can get her hands on it. During the sale, Alex's plans are thrown off when she realizes her mom, Teresa, is also at the store, and Gigi has hidden the jacket. Meanwhile, Max gets a new wand, and while playing with the duplicate Alex back at home, he unknowingly controls the real Alex at the store, making her perform strange actions like dancing and spinning, and it creates chaos at the sale and exposes Alex's deception to both her mom and dad, who arrive at the store after discovering she skipped wizard class.
I think I just did!
In the end, Alex is caught by her parents and dragged out of the store, but not before she publicly reveals that Gigi's real name is Gertrude, embarrassing her. Back at home, Jerry figures out what happened with the clone and Max's new wand. Although Max tries to shift the blame to Alex, the family ends up discussing all the trouble caused. Jerry grounds Alex for 4 weeks as punishment, while Max and Justin escape with only minor consequences. The episode ends on a humorous note when Jerry asks Alex to duplicate him so he can multitask between watching the game and spending time with his wife.
Your punishment, not mine.
Then you see what I'm getting at.
Oh, you want me to duplicate you so you can go dancing and watch the game.
A little.
The second episode is First Kiss. So in the beginning, Justin's dating a girl named Miranda, but he's nervous and unable to kiss her, which causes some awkward moments in their relationship. Alex, the sister, decides to intervene using a time-rewinding spell to give Justin multiple chances to get the kiss right. Meanwhile, Max is creating a sandwich that is being considered as the official sandwich for the New York Mets. However, he struggles to remember the ingredients, which adds to the chaos in the family. As the story progresses, Alex repeatedly uses the spell to help Justin, but her interference causes various mishaps, including a series of failed kisses between Justin and Miranda.
This is gonna be a long night.
And at the same time, Max continues to experiment with different ingredients for a sandwich, but Alex's time manipulation unintentionally ruins the chances of the sandwich being chosen by the Mets. Despite the growing frustrations within the family, Alex remains determined to help Justin succeed in his romantic endeavor. In the end, after 17 failed attempts, Alex is caught by their dad, Jerry, who surprisingly allows her to use the spell one final time to help Justin get his first kiss. Justin finally kisses Miranda, which shifts the family's focus away from the failed sandwich endeavor. However, when Justin teases Alex for never having her own first kiss, she retaliates by kissing a random boy in front of him. Now, for episode number 3, we have I Almost Drowned in a Chocolate Fountain. Begin. So Alex fails her Spanish midterm, much to her amusement, since it means Riley, her crush, has also failed. He asks Alex and Harper to join him and his friends for a night out, which obviously is exciting Alex. However, when Justin accidentally reveals her failing grade to their parents, Jerry forbids Alex from going out. Jeez, it seems like all this episode is Alex versus her dad, until she passes a retest. To make matters worse, Alex blames Justin and Max for distracting her while studying, leading to the boys also being punished. So during their wizarding lesson, Jerry introduces pocket elves who have a deep knowledge of various subjects. Jerry warns that feeding chocolate to the elves will make them go wild, but Alex gets the idea to use a Spanish-speaking pocket elf to cheat on her retest.
Treat often used to say sorry to a loved one, but to this little guy, it's like lighting a fuse on a crazy bomb.
Then let's set this baby off and give him some chocolate.
You know, in this control.
Passes with flying colors and is allowed to go on her date. However, Justin, seeking revenge for Alex's snitching, plans with Max to place a pocket elf in her purse to sabotage her evening. At the restaurant, the pocket elf bites Alex after eating chocolate, turning her into a chocoholic. Alex embarrasses herself by devouring all the chocolate desserts and even sliding in spilled chocolate. Later, Jerry and Teresa discover Alex cheated on her test and suspect the boys had a hand in the chaos at the restaurant.
You almost exposed magic to the real world.
Yes, and I've already punished myself because I embarrassed myself in front of Riley, and he probably won't ever text me again.
And the fact that you two were just conveniently down at the restaurant.
Alex decides to spare them punishment, warning that she plans to get even. Fearing what Alex might do, Justin and Max confess to the parents to avoid a worse fate. Now we got episode 4, New Employee. So Harper expresses frustration to Alex about how they never spend time together anymore, and to help, Alex convinces her parents to hire Harper at their family sandwich shop. However, it quickly becomes clear that Harper is a disaster in the role, having no experience in causing chaos. Alex's parents threaten to fire Harper unless she improves immediately. So to save her friend's job, Alex casts the Serving Wench spell, which miraculously turns Harper into a skilled, efficient waitress, impressing everybody, including Alex's parents. Although Alex's plan backfires when Harper becomes overly strict and a workaholic, taking control of the shop and even threatening to fire Alex if she doesn't work harder. This leads to tension between the two friends, and Harper eventually quits, firing Alex as her friend in the process. Meanwhile, Justin starts a tutoring business, angering Frankie, who is a local bully. When Frankie sends his gang to beat up Justin, Justin gets his athletes to intimidate Frankie and his gang at the frozen yogurt shop. Harper, despite only working for a few hours, is named Employee of the Month, and Alex realizes she needs to fix the mess she created. And then Alex visits Harper at the yogurt shop, apologizes, but Harper's still upset. So to make things right, Alex uses another spell to reverse Harper's waitressing skills, returning her to her clumsy self. Two friends reconcile after they end up making a mess together.
Sorry, I don't usually do this sort of thing. I'm Employee of the Month. This is still good. We can scoop it up.
Cleaning up spilled ice cream and getting over their fight, which is crazy because how many desserts gone wrong episodes can we have? The episode concludes with their friendship restored and Harper returning to her usual lovable self. Next is episode 5, Disenchanted Evening. So Alex meets a fellow wizard, TJ Taylor, who has charmed his parents into letting him use magic freely without restrictions. Alex is frustrated by her own parents' rules and is intrigued by this freedom. She tries to convince her dad, Jerry, to let her and her brothers use magic whenever they want, but Jerry obviously refuses, warning her that using magic for everything would lead to more trouble. Meanwhile, Max shows off his Mars project, which is just a box of sand, adding some comic relief to the situation. As the story unfolds, Alex learns that TJ charmed his parents by enchanting a noodle kugel dish. Hoping to gain similar freedom, Alex brings TJ to her family sub-job, where Jerry and Teresa unknowingly eat the charmed kugel and begin to agree with everything Alex she wants, including using magic whenever she pleases. At first, Alex enjoys her new freedom, using spells for trivial things like deciding what to wear and zapping Max and Justin to Mars for fun. But then Alex soon realizes that her parents' lack of concern for serious matters, like Max being left on Mars, makes her uneasy. So this prompts her to recognize the importance of rules and boundaries. Justin ends up helping when he discovers that cocoa powder in the brownies can reverse the spell.
Brownies. TJ says eating brownies is against the law.
That law was overturned yesterday. It was in the, don't you read the papers?
Oh!
Yeah.
So he bakes the brownies, which successfully turn Jerry and Teresa to their normal selves. Alex, relieved, is happy to receive punishment, appreciating the return to structure. TJ's parents also eat the brownies and return to normal, scolding TJ for his misuse of magic. TJ tries to lighten the mood with a catchphrase, but his father sternly tells him it was never funny, leaving TJ to run off in defeat. Episode 6 is You Can't Always Get What You Carpet. So Alex discovers her dad's old magic carpet and convinces him to give her flying lessons. However, Jerry is reluctant because he's always seen Alex as his little girl and he's become overprotective during the lessons. Meanwhile, Justin gets upset because when Jerry accidentally puts girly wallpaper in his room instead of Alex's, he protests. And
No, Justin's right. We shouldn't forget about him. That's why he should have this wallpaper.
I'm comfortable being forgotten.
It'll totally tie together your little action figures and the big water stain from where the roof leaks.
I was gonna paint over that water stain, but you know what? No, you're right. This wallpaper would look way better.
Attaboy. Come on, guys, let's go before it dries. Let's hustle. Fun and games are over.
Dad, I was kidding.
man up his room by taking items from the basement, while Alex successfully manipulates Jerry to use furry wallpaper in her room. As Justin starts filling his room with items like scary decor, a baseball glove chair from the basement, Alex discovers the magic flying carpet. Jerry finds out and scolds her, but lets it slip that Justin has already had flying lessons. So feeling left out, Alex insists on taking lessons, and Jerry has to agree. However, the lessons turn out to be tense and unenjoyable for Alex because Jerry yells at her throughout, making the experience difficult. And then Alex feels Jerry is ignoring her and tries to reconnect by making breakfast for dinner, but it doesn't work. Justin steps in and offers to teach Alex flying carpet skills late at night, making the lesson much more fun and relaxing. With Justin's guidance, Alex performs much better during her next lesson with Jerry, who is impressed. Although Justin denies his involvement, Jerry thanks him for helping Alex improve, bringing the family closer together. Episode 7, we have Alex's Choice. So Gigi invites Alex and Harper to her annual tea party, but Alex is immediately suspicious of Gigi's sudden kindness. While Harper believes that Gigi has turned over a new leaf, Alex remains, unconvinced. Using magic, Alex discovers that Gigi and her friends are actually planning a humiliating prank on Harper at the party. However, since Harper doesn't know about Alex's wizard powers, Alex struggles to prove Gigi's ill intentions without revealing her secret. At the party, Alex casts a truth spell to expose Gigi's plan, but it backfires, causing everyone at the party to reveal embarrassing secrets about themselves, including Alex accidentally admitting she's a wizard. She manages to cover up the slip, and Gigi ultimately confesses at the tea party.
Jennifer looks way prettier than me. I'm gonna talk her into a bad haircut. Hey, Jen, I'm gonna talk you into a bad haircut. Why did I just say that?
Oh, this is going better than I thought. Hey everybody, I'm a wizard! Huh?
It's actually a who could bring the biggest loser contest, and Gigi had brought Harper as the intended target. Alex then points out to Gigi's friends that Gigi considers them bigger losers than the people they brought, which leads to Gigi's own friends to turn on her. They dump cake and tea on Gigi as payback for years of mistreatment, and Harper gets the chance to crown Gigi as the biggest loser. Meanwhile, Justin and Max send prank mail claiming they are stranded in the lava sea. Their prank backfires when emergency wizards show up to rescue them, leading to trouble. Justin, Max, and their mom Teresa are interrogated and sentenced to community service, where they have to wash emergency wizards' laundry as a part of their punishment. Episode 8, we have Curb Your Dragon. So the episode begins with the Russo kids accidentally turning their dad, Jerry, into a goat using magic. After they turn him back, an angry Jerry pushes them with more studying. Once he's gone, Alex opens a magical briefcase containing a laptop that sells magical objects. While looking for clothes, she accidentally summons a store that sells pet dragon.
That's right, a mythical creature and a dog combined. Now tell me, how many would you like?
We're just looking.
What would it take for me to get you involved in one of these marvelous little dragon dogs today?
I don't get it. Is it a dragon or is it a dog?
It was charmed to look like a dog so it could exist in the real world. Now, beat it, kid. I'm in the middle of a sale.
Justin finds a dog there that he's drawn to, but the shopkeeper reveals it's actually a dragon disguised as a dog. Despite Justin's hesitation due to the past emotional experience with a lost dog, Alex buys the dragon dog, which burns her homework by accident. At home, Alex shows Justin the dragon dog and they argue about how to handle their parents. When Jerry and Teresa meet the dog, Alex lies, claiming it's a lost dog, which their parents believe, naming it Dragon. This momentary panic passes, but the kids struggle to keep the dragon's abilities hidden. Outside, Justin, Alex, and Max play with the dragon, but its flying abilities almost reveal its true nature to Frankie, who is starting to get suspicious. The kids manage to keep the secret safe, but their antics escalate as they attempt to manage the dragon's powers.
What's the matter?
Those flyers you put up worked. Dragon's rightful owner came by and picked him up while you kids were at school.
What rightful owner?
Hey guys, where's Dragon?
Alex feels guilty when Justin grows sad after Dragon's supposed owner comes to claim the dog. They discover that the shopkeeper is actually a con artist who steals and resells dragons repeatedly. So to rescue Dragon, Alex and her brothers sneak into a dog show by turning Max into a dog himself. After a chaotic confrontation with the shopkeeper, Alex uses her magic abilities, even turning into a tiger to scare everybody away. Eventually, she tricks the shopkeeper into taking an empty chest, allowing them to keep the dragon. Back home, Jerry and Teresa realize that the dragon is indeed a dragon in disguise after it starts flying and farting, leaving Teresa disgusted as the episode ends. Episode 9, Movies. So the Russo family leave a movie theater after watching a kid-friendly movie, and Alex feels embarrassed by her parents singing, and the fact that she had to attend such a babyish film. She complains to her dad, Jerry, about how unfair it is that Justin gets to go out with his friends instead. Later, when Justin talks about his math club, Alex becomes more frustrated with how her older brother is allowed more freedom, including going to a rated-R movie with his friends. Jerry and Teresa begin to worry that their kids are growing up too quickly, especially when they fuss over Max's new haircut. At school, Alex tries to hang out with Justin's friends, but Justin doesn't like her mingling with them and firmly tells her that they are his friends, not hers. Alex tries to convince her parents to let her see the movie, but Jerry refuses, so Alex pretends to take Max out for pizza and skee-ball, but really plans to sneak into the movie theater.
What are you doing? You're not in the movie?
No, I'm not old enough, and I don't plan on breaking the law now. Part of being a mature adult is knowing when to follow the rules.
Well, part of being me is ignoring the rules and doing whatever I want.
When her fake ID doesn't work, she ends up casting a spell to sneak into the movie, but it accidentally transports her into the film. So inside the movie, Alex is confused as she interacts with the characters in the horror film, which include a pillow fight at a Halloween party. Justin's friends notice that one of the characters in the film looks exactly like Alex, and they tell Justin.
That movie is way too scary. There's some things in this life that you can never unsee.
Well, where's Alex? She said she was gonna catch up with you guys.
But weirdly enough, there's an actress in the movie that looks just like her.
Really?
Yeah. She even sounded kind of like her. And she was wearing the exact same outfit as her.
He attempts a spell to check out what's happening, eventually getting himself into the movie as well. As the two siblings try to escape the horror movie's villain, they use spells to transport between scenes, but the monster keeps following them.
Seriously, Justin, just stand up.
Okay.
Ultimately, Justin casts a spell to bring them back to the real world, and Alex apologizes for trying to invade Justin's space, and the two reconcile as Jerry and Teresa find them at the theater. In the end, it's revealed that one of the movie monsters had followed them home, leading to a comedic final scene where Alex's family pretends to be the movie's creatures, but one creature is the actual monster. Episode 10, Pop Me and We Both Go Down. Justin gets a large zit on his forehead right before the school dance. Desperate to help, Alex tries to use magic to get rid of it, but she accidentally uses an animation spell instead. So now Justin's zit is named Zitzy, and can actually talk and start causing more chaos for him than a normal pimple would, especially at the dance. So Alex tries to animate her father Jerry's old wrestling trophy and it escapes. She needs to find the trophy to learn the reversal spell and can unanimate Justin's talking zits. So after a series of chaotic events, Alex actually learns the reverse spell, but not before Justin's zit gets him into more embarrassing situations. But in the end, Justin discovers that his date, Miranda, also has a zit, making him feel less self-conscious about his own. Now we have episode 11, Potion Commotion. In this episode, Justin's determined to be selected for the prestigious Wizards School Summit at the UN, but he faces competition from his popular classmate, Brad Sherwood. Alex, infatuated with Brad, plans to use a love potion to make Brad fall for her while also helping Justin sabotage Brad's chances. In this episode, Justin's determined to be selected for the prestigious...
Wow, what happened to our roof? It's snowing.
Hey,
Oh, hey, Brad.
what's that all over you?
Dandruff. Really bad dandruff. It runs in our family.
So of course Alex gaslights him to make him think he's crazy.
Brad, you're so funny. If we were going in a group to the concert, everyone would laugh at you. But it's just us two.
Alex, that's kind of messed up. However, Alex accidentally drinks both halves of the love potion herself, causing her to fall in love with herself. And as a result, her head inflates whenever she praises herself. And meanwhile, Max gets his full wizard powers, and to control them while they settle in, he must wear a goofy hat, which he refuses to wear at first. As Alex's self-love worsens, Justin prepares his interview with Mr. Larate, who is overseeing the selection process. When Alex's big-headed behavior disrupts the interview, Justin tries to fix the situation, but Brad shows up to try to win over Mr. Larate with more flattery. Despite the chaos, including Alex's inflating head and Max's magical mishaps that transport their home into different countries, Justin impresses Mr. Larate with his calm handling of situations and wins the summit spot. In the end, Brad reveals he didn't truly care about the summit or Alex. With her head literally inflated, tells Brad she has no interest in him either. So Jerry eventually deflates Alex's head by popping her ear, and Max learns to manage his powers with the hat. The episode concludes with Alex continuing to enjoy showering herself with love and gifts, and Justin, amused by her antics, acknowledges that no one loves Alex more than herself. This episode particularly shines when it shows us, like, the wizarding side of their family. For example, like, Max going through puberty ends up having side effects within his wizarding powers, Alex kind of standing up for Justin. They all kind of seem to be supporting each other, and it seems to be more family versus magic as opposed to family versus each other. This is definitely when I feel like the show hits its, like, complete stride, and it's like, these are the plots you guys should use all throughout the rest of the show. Now, episode 12, Justin's little sister. In this episode, Alex becomes frustrated with people constantly comparing her to her brother Justin, so she makes a wish using a genie that people will stop comparing her to him. Although, the genie twists her wish, and everybody, including her friends and family, actually forgets who Justin is.
The new guy who's H-O-T cute.
No, the guy who's my brother, who's V-E-R-Y dorking.
No, you only have one brother. His name is Max.
Alex, realizing the mistake, attempts to fix it, but she accidentally uses her final wish to turn Justin invisible instead of restoring things back to normal. So desperate for help, Alex explains the situation to her dad, who confirms that genies are tricky. Together with Max, they come up with a plan to outsmart the genie. Max manages to annoy the genie into granting him a wish, and he cleverly asks for a reset button to undo all the damage caused by the genie. After pressing the reset button, everything goes back to normal and everybody remembers Justin. Justin is touched by how upset Alex is when he was invisible, and the episode ends with the two siblings playfully bickering as usual. In this episode, Jerry and Teresa decide to send Alex and Justin to WizTech, a summer wizarding school. So Alex causes a magical mishap by accidentally transporting their entire house into her room.
Boy, I really love this turkey jerky.
Sure makes me thirsty, though. Teresa, why can't I open the fridge?
Episode 13, Wizard School, Part 1. So Jerry and Teresa decide to send Alex and Justin to WizTech, which is a summer wizarding school. While Justin excels at WizTech and becomes really popular, Alex struggles and frequently gets in trouble. Despite her challenges, Alex makes a friend named Hugh Normus, who believes he's a giant. Meanwhile, back at home, Max and Jerry camp out at the terrace to prove their manliness after Teresa raises questions. As the episode unfolds, Alex tries to escape WizTech by using a portal key but accidentally ends up in the mail sorting room, where Dr. Evelini catches her and punishes her with the discipline bucket. While cleaning the school, Alex discovers Dr. Evelini's plan to drain Justin of his powers during the next school tournament. With this revelation, Alex realizes she must stop the evil plan to protect her brother. Now in Wizarding School Part 2, Alex discovers that Dr. Evelini, a teacher at WizTech, is plotting to drain Justin's powers during the championship of the 12th ball. So Justin, who excels at the game, makes it to the finals where he faces Jerko Phoenix, the previous year's top player. Alex tries to warn Justin, but she struggles to stop the plan. She turns to the headmaster, Professor Crumbs, but he's unable to help due to losing a bet with Dr. Evelini. As the 12th ball finals approach, Justin hits the Tattler and advances to the final round at Volcano Land. Meanwhile, back at the Waverly substation, Jerry and Teresa deal with the rival restaurant, the Salad Bowl, which threatens their business. And Max tries to help out by dressing up as a sandwich to advertise the substation.
Does it make you want to erupt?
Okay, now you're pushing it.
Does it block your flow?
Stop it.
Does it make you want to go molten?
Don't.
Make you hot under the
Okay,
collar?
officially ignoring you.
Episode 14, Wizard School Part 2. Alex takes matters into her own hands and follows Justin to Volcano Land, where she confirms that Dr. Evelini's plans are to drain his powers. So despite Justin's attempt to quit this tournament, Dr. Evelini casts a no-quitting spell, forcing him to compete. Justin successfully plays all 12 balls and wins the tournament, triggering Dr. Evelini's scheme. However, Alex uses a truce spell on Dr. Evelini, exposing her plan, and she's arrested. In the end, Jerry and Teresa express pride in Alex for protecting Justin, stopping Dr. Evelini's evil plan. Overall, really successful first two-part episode. I definitely think the stakes were high enough to justify it being the season finale, and it being in between the season kind of takes away its intensity. But I love that we finally address the Harry Potter parodies head on, and they actually really distinguish themselves from that series, showing that it's focused more on satire and family rather than the really intense wizarding worlds. But it's still just enough to justify the world they've created within the show. The show is just so good at its background lore. Episode 15, The Supernatural. In this episode, Justin uses magic to land a spot in the school's baseball team in an effort to oppress a girl named Kari Lansdorf, I don't know. Not knowing how to play baseball, he continues to rely on magic to win games. Meanwhile, Alex tries to impress her crush, Riley, by claiming to be the team's good luck charm. And as the season progresses, Justin's use of magic helps the team succeed, but things get complicated when Jerry finds out that Justin is cheating by using magic. As a punishment, Jerry makes Justin play without magic in the next game, leading to Justin's team brutally losing. Alex seizes this opportunity to prove her good luck charm claim by not attending the game when the team loses. Later, she returns to the next game and secretly uses magic to manipulate the ball, helping Riley's team win. Jerry confronts Alex and has Justin perform a memory erasing spell on the crowd to make them forget the magical interference.
Cerebellum erasis. I don't remember how the game ended.
Neither do I. I think Alex had something to do with it. What's that piece of paper? Hey, this could come in handy someday.
And though Riley asks Alex to the fall dance, Jerry punishes her for using magic without her permission, banning her from attending. In the end, Justin tries to ask Henrie out, but she declines, stating that she only dates real baseball players and watches movies about cats, leaving Justin disappointed. Episode 16, Alex in the Middle. So in this episode, Jerry's fun-loving brother, Kelbo Russo, visits the family and introduces a more relaxed and playful approach to wizard training, which obviously excites Alex. So after experiencing Kelbo's laid-back teaching style, Alex decides she wants him to be her wizard teacher instead of Jerry. However, Kelbo's lack of focus leads to chaos when he and Alex open a package of sea chimps in the wizard mail. This results in the magic lair flooding, and both Kelbo and Alex being turned into sea chimps. Then I guess the subplot is Justin accidentally hitting on the lunch lady?
You don't shower after gym, 'cause you don't sweat, 'cause you walk the mile!
Hey, Coach.
What are you doing?
writing love letters to my girlfriend, the lunch lady.
It's funny to see his coach demasculize him in front of his brother. Jerry ultimately saves them, despite not having magical powers anymore. Later, Alex and her brothers are surprised by Jerry's ability to save the day without magic. Kelbo then reveals a family secret. Jerry actually did win the wizard competition years ago, but he chose to give up his powers so he can marry Teresa, their mother, a non-wizard. As a result, Kelbo received Jerry's powers. Jerry admits that he has no regrets about his decision, and it's allowed him to be with Teresa. So, while Justin and Max are skeptical about giving up their wizard powers for love, Alex finds the story sweet and defends her father, acknowledging that without his choice, she and her brothers would not exist. And by the end of the episode, Alex gains a new appreciation for her dad and agrees to continue her wizard training with him. The family, along with Kelbo, heads out to a basketball game, and Alex shows off a spell that Kelbo taught her, signaling a newfound balance between fun and responsibility in her wizard training. Which, you gotta admit, if this happened to you, it would, at very least, hurt. Episode 17, Report Card. In this next episode, Alex, Justin, and Max receive their wizarding report cards. Justin excels with an overall A, though he gets a B+ in rhyming spells. Max earns a C, and Alex receives an F for poor performance. Fearing her parents' reaction, Alex attempts to destroy her report card, but it magically reappears each time, undamaged, in places where her parents might find it. In a panic, just as her parents are about to discover the card, Alex hastily turns them into guinea pigs to stop them from seeing her grade. While Alex is dealing with the consequences of her actions, Max and Justin unknowingly lose their guinea pig parents. Alex tries to cover up the situation, but Headmaster Crumbs finds out that Alex lied about her report card and her parents' whereabouts. So as a punishment for her dishonesty and irresponsibility, he suspends Alex's wizard powers. Meanwhile, Max and Justin continue searching for the missing guinea pigs, unaware that they're actually their parents. In the end, the situation is resolved, but Alex faces the consequences of her actions and learns a lesson about honesty and the importance of taking her wizard training seriously.
You can call it Meet Me in Little Italy.
Oh, what?
Don't you get it, honey? It's a pun.
It's not a pun, it's stolen. You heard me right, Justin?
I didn't hear a thing.
Episode 18, Credit Check. So, in this episode, Alex feels frustrated when she doesn't get credit for a sandwich idea she came up with at the sub shop. So to prove her point, she takes an internship at a prestigious fashion magazine. In an act of rebellion, she decides to showcase Harper's eccentric and bizarre fashion designs in an outrageous fashion show to teach her boss a lesson for taking credit for their ideas. However, the plan backfires when the fashion critic praises the show and gives Alex all the credit. Meanwhile, at the sub shop, Jerry and Teresa hire a new employee, Millie, who Justin immediately falls in love with. Max, ever the mischievous brother, tries to help Justin impress her. However, Millie invites Justin to her apartment under the guise of going to a concert together, only for Justin to realize that she has a boyfriend. Instead of the date he hoped for, Justin ends up babysitting Millie's young cousin, Benji. To his surprise, Justin bonds with Benji over the shared love of action figures, showing that the night wasn't a complete loss. Episode 19, Alex's Spring Fling. In this episode, Alex's boyfriend Riley breaks up with her because of her constant jealousy. So determined to make him jealous in return, Alex uses an animation spell to bring a mannequin to life named Manny-kin. Yeah. However, her plan backfires when Manny develops emotions and actually does fall in love with her, which prevents Alex from being able to turn him back into a mannequin. To solve the problem, Alex animates Justin's prized action figure, Calico Woman, hoping that Manny will fall in love with her instead. While Alex tries to manage the chaotic situation, Riley sees Alex's new relationship and gets jealous himself, realizing he still has feelings for her, so he decides to get back together with her. And meanwhile, Justin's left in charge of the house while their parents are out of town. His new authority quickly goes to his head, leading to some humorous situations, and he takes his role too seriously. Despite the chaos, everything is resolved in the end when Riley and Alex reconcile, and Justin's brief stint of authority comes to a close. Episode 20, Quinceañera. Now, the family prepares for Alex's quinceañera, a traditional Hispanic celebration for her 15th birthday. However, Alex rejects the idea, finding it too girly for her taste. Meanwhile, Teresa insists on dance lessons for the family, which Alex obviously mocks and avoids. And Alex's grandmother, Magdalena, reveals that Teresa always dreamed of having her own quinceañera, but couldn't afford one when she was younger. Feeling guilty, Alex decides to give her mom the celebration she missed by casting a spell to swap bodies with her, so Teresa can actually enjoy the quinceañera in Alex's place. Though Teresa's shocked at first, she's actually excited and starts to enjoy it. At the party, Justin realizes the body switch, but keeps it a secret. While planning the event, Jerry teaches Justin and Max a body switching spell. Meanwhile, Justin and Max, panicking over the forgotten dance lesson, use the body switching spell on their dance instructors to perform the dance.
What am I doing here?
I don't know, but like all the other trouble spots I've gotten into in my life, I'm gonna dance my way out.
As the sunset approaches, Justin reminds Alex that she must switch back before time runs out. With a little help from Max distracting Magdalena, Alex manages to return to her own body in time. And after the switch, Teresa thanks Alex for letting her have the experience she missed. And during her father-daughter dance, Jerry and Alex share a heartfelt moment, both moved to tears. And in the end credits, Magdalena accidentally discovers the wizard lair and mistakes it for a wrestling room.
Is this room what I think it is?
What room do you think it is?
The wrestling room?
That's 2 out of 3!
Now for the final episode, Art Museum Piece. In this episode, Alex is cleaning outside the substation when Harper gives her a necklace, which Alex mistakenly throws away, suggesting Harper sell it at her jewelry stand instead. During a wizarding lesson, Jerry teaches Alex and Justin and Max a spell called Go Through, Mow Through, which actually allows objects to pass through solid items. At school, Alex learns that she has to attend an art field trip or risk failing her class and having to retake it during the summer. Justin is tasked with ensuring Alex goes on the trip, but Alex, uninterested, sneaks away using the Go Through, Mow Through spell to visit Harper's jewelry stand instead. At the art museum, Alex returns just in time to find out that she needs to complete a worksheet, but the museum is closing in 5 minutes.
5 minutes? I wouldn't know this stuff in 5 hours. Frames with figures, step out of your picture.
In a panic, she uses a spell that animates the artworks, and things quickly spiral out of control when famous figures like the Mona Lisa and the Scream come to life and start wandering around the museum. It's kind of like backwards night at the museum. Jerry and Max accidentally knock a football into Teresa's soup using the same spell, which they later realize they've eaten. Ew. Justin rushes to Alex's rescue at the museum, but insists for her to take responsibility and fix her own mistake by putting the animated artworks back in their frames. Harper arrives, and despite not recognizing Mona Lisa, she compliments her necklace. To calm Mona Lisa down, Alex gives her Harper's necklace, which actually convinces Mona to return to her frame. However, the painting now shows Mona Lisa wearing a cheap necklace, much to Justin's dismay because Alex just altered a famous piece of art. In the end, Alex apologizes to Justin for always complaining that he knows everything, and humorously adds that she'll never admit it in public. So now we're going to take a deep dive into the characters this season. So overall, I was very surprised with where all the characters started and ended up by the end of the season, especially knowing all 4 seasons pretty well as the movie and where everybody's going to end up. It's nice to take this little component of this big franchise and look at it in isolation. I mean, I can't imagine what it would be like if they didn't get renewed for a second season. I mean, I definitely think the 21 episodes that started it all are perfect, and I think they did a great job. Although I would change some things about the season, like the way it ended, the midpoint 2-part episode. Like, I definitely think they could have improved the way they went about it, but otherwise, like, this show is just so energetic, and it takes Hannah Montana's foundations an even deeper place, and I didn't even know that was possible. So Wizards is doing a great job at that so far. It doesn't feel like a conclusive first season or a beginning, middle, and end. It just feels like an episode order, but I'm super excited to see more. So Alex Russo at the start of the series was like introduced as the rebellious, carefree teenager who's more interested in having fun and using magic for shortcuts rather than taking her own wizard training seriously. She'll clash a lot with her parents, her older brother, and for some reason get in a lot of sugary, sticky situations. I don't know. There's just a lot more slapstick humor than I remember the show being known for. She also she usually clashes with Justin and her dad a lot because she has a tendency to break the rules, and those guys actually feel pretty responsible. Her mysterious nature and love for getting out of hard work actually makes her a quintessential slacker sibling in the family, but they do ground her with a lot of, she comes from a good place, and many times when she's using her spells and or she uses it to get out of it, I mean, otherwise she just gives me the impression of like a really illogical teenager that's just trying to not do homework, and I've seen those so often, and it's just, she makes it look really cool, and I don't know if that's good for our culture to like kind of promote Alex's character, although it's her sarcasm and her grounded goal. By the end of season 1, Alex still holds on to her mischievous and carefree attitude, but she starts to show a little bit more signs of growth. Especially in the first couple episodes, it seems like she's genuinely not thinking about anyone at all until the last possible moment. But as time went on, and even specifically the WizTech double-part episode, I think they really made a point to have her grow. And I'm excited to start noticing the trends in later seasons, because I never thought about Alex Russo on her own this much. But it's definitely opening my eyes in a very interesting, and she's just definitely one of my favorite Disney Channel sitcom characters to watch. Like, for example, the entire episode of the Quinceañera where she switches bodies with her mom, it shows that she has a deeper respect for family and responsibility. And even though she still resists the rules, I think she's starting to learn how her actions have consequences, and then she can't use them to fix everything. So then we got Justin. Justin's introduced as like the polar opposite of Alex, especially early on. He's more of like this stoic rule follower. He's organized, studious, and very disciplined. He's so committed to his wizard training and takes pride in being the responsible sibling. It's no wonder that Alex is embodying everything that he is avoiding. Justin's dedication to magic and academics often leads him to believe he's the responsible candidate to become the family's full wizard. And I love that even though he's the responsible one, he's pretty flawed in terms of his ego and where it leads him. Like when he's in charge of the house just for a night, it seems like power really gets to his head. And I love that, he's not like the stereotypical perfect wizard, but he's the stereotypical like rule following wizard. And he spends much of the season working really hard to prove a point more than necessarily learn himself. It seems like he starts out not needing to know anything or grow as a character, and I think that's his biggest downfall, because by the end of the season his arcs reflect a growing frustration, and constantly having to clean up after Alex's magic mistakes is really interesting to watch, because she gets into really interesting predicaments, and of course he's going to get an ego with all the cleaning up he has to do for her, and it just seems like she keeps pushing him to the limit, the same way that Drake does to Josh, or vice versa. But being siblings and coming through for each other, like, it really shows that, like, even though despite their differences, they do come through for each other, and he does have to sometimes have a little bit of humility in order to even help her. Like, some of these situations were even him with a problem and her trying to guide him, like the first kiss episode. That was really funny, but it's like, Justin does need help too, and he needs her just as much as she needs him, and I think that's like the secret beauty of Wizards, especially with the characters and the family. And he seems like his leadership skills and sense of responsibility are just still developing. And same with the understanding of being a wizard is more than just following the rules. It's about adapting to unexpected challenges. And I think he's also starting to learn that maybe being a wizard isn't everything to life. And he's starting to learn more sides of himself. And I think we're starting to see more sides of him. And it's only going to get better from here. Okay, now we got Max Russo. Okay, so he is definitely the comedic, goofy, younger wizarding seriously at all. I forgot how side of a character he was until this. I mean, they do a good job at working him into the C plots and actually having some of his actions circle back to resolving the A plots, like when he's trying to sell the New York Mets the new sandwich, and that's probably his best, when like he's still involved. I don't like episodes when we don't see him at all, because I feel like he's just so fun to have around. While he's more concerned with having fun and playing pranks than learning spells, his obliviousness is what puts him in the middle of his siblings' conflicts, and also what makes viewers have such a fun time watching him. Justin focuses on being the best wizard, and Alex rebels, and Max is just content to float between the two extremes. And that's why I bet a lot of people would say Max Russo is their favorite. And by the end of the first season, I mean, he doesn't show as much growth as Alex or Justin. His comic relief is more tied to him as a person, and like the episode where he's going through puberty, but it's more so his magic is developing. We get to see, you know, like then it's not just funny, it's like it's funny because he's going through something and he's figuring it out. And I definitely think we start to see small moments where Max's untapped potential as a wizard shows itself, and even if it's more an accident than intentional. And still a bit clueless, I think we're gonna look forward to seeing more of Max in the future and set up potential growth. See, now we got Jerry Russo. Jerry Russo is one of my favorite dad characters in any teen sitcom, because he's just really good at managing being the straight man to the lunatic and neurotic works of his kids, but then still being firm and empathetic. Like, he knows when to drop the teacher and dad persona for the sake of like giving his kids a well-developed life. Like he allows Alex to do one nice thing with magic because he knows it's going to build her character, and I think he's really good at knowing when and when it's not appropriate. And at his funniest, I just love seeing him get excited about things because his character is so naive and kind of like a fanboy. He's like portrayed as this like silly, goofy father, but he takes a lot seriously. And when we learn that he gave up his wizard powers to marry Teresa, it's like you kind of understand him a lot better and his connection to wizardry, even if he himself is not one. And it's nice to see him push his kids out of the genuineness of his heart and telling them to not rely too much on magic. It's just so relevant to real world growing pains that I feel like this show is so good at addressing despite its fantastical nature. And you know, he starts out as somebody who's experienced and understands responsibility, but by the end I feel like he still remains a steady presence. Like, he's guiding his children through the magical mishaps, but I think he's getting better at tuning into when it's appropriate and not appropriate to see the gray area of what his kids are trying to figure out. You know, like, you know, he sacrifices his time and comfort to ensure his kids actually grow up with an appreciation for both magic and real-life responsibilities. His moments of discipline, especially toward the end with Alex, show his depth of care for his kids' future, and he's so interesting to watch. And then we got Teresa Russo, who is the only non-magical member of the Russo family, which is so fun because as an audience, we definitely want to empathize with her and watch, you know, the craziness that goes on could be seen through her lens, and that's super fun to watch through. She's known for her like little snippets of rebellious past that come up in episodes like the Quinceañera, when we learn about her dreams and how kind of close she is to Alex despite her strict mom role. And I think more of discovering her character is learning more about her backstory, and I'm excited to keep doing that. And she definitely shows an increasing willingness to understand the magical world that her children inhabit, and that's really cool to know that even though she's not a part of it, she is very caring toward it.
I made an outfit to match the theater seats.
Don't be freaked out if you can't see me. It's time to go to work.
And then finally, we got Harper Finkel. Harper is Alex's quirky and loyal best friend, but she has no idea that Alex is a wizard. And I forgot that, unlike Hannah Montana, you go through the whole first season with Miley and Lily both being in on the secret. But this show, having Harper kind of in the dark, opens a lot of interesting things up. Like, I love seeing Alex and the Russo family try to hide their wizardry, especially when it comes to people coming to their house, or even Teresa's mom, their grandmother, has no idea either. Like, it just seems like it adds always a layer of stress that it's fun to watch the family struggle with all together. Harper is known for her bizarre homemade outfits and unwavering crush on Justin, and she often acts as Alex's moral compass, although she does kind of go borderline like ditzy and then also chaotic, neurotic. I don't know. Harper's a lot of things at once, but I think that's also what makes her so interesting. Because by the end of the season, Harper's role as Alex's like non-magical best friend becomes a little bit more crucial because she's supportive, zany, and her character's importance kind of grows as the series sets her up for an inevitable discovery of the magical world. Because we're not quite there yet, and I can't remember which season it happened, but I'm looking forward to it. She's a grounded influence for Alex, and by the end, I feel like her role in Alex's life continues to grow, especially with her patience for such a irresponsible person. So overall, the Wizards of Waverly Place establishes a great foundation for all of their characters, and the entire season 1 is definitely good at balancing humor with lessons in family and responsibility and growing up in a magical and non-magical world. And that wraps up our journey through Season 1 of Wizards of Waverly Place. Now, wasn't that fun? See, now, as we're gearing up to see this new series, Wizards Beyond Waverly Place, it's always fun to, look back and see the humble beginnings of how this started. It truly is, a really special show to manage to balance the fantastical elements along with the grounded emotional beats of the characters. I really just had such a fun time reviewing Wizards, and I cannot wait for this new show to come out. From Alex's mischievous nature and Justin's academic ambitions and Max's antics, this season, it gave us a great foundation for more adventures, character growth, and wild spells that will follow in the seasons to come. So thank you guys so much for joining me on this nostalgic trip down memory lane, and stay tuned because we're going to be diving into more wizardry very soon, okay? Now, in the meantime, don't forget to check out my Drake and Josh retrospective as well as my Hannah Montana one, and then we're going to get on to some more magic soon. Have a great day, and don't forget to like and subscribe.